Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Brooklyn. Brooklyn Quartermain. I am so disgusted by this character at this point that when she did this little smirk, it made me want to vomit. Okay. So her Michael and Ned pretty much figured out that she is trying to use her unborn child to get control of ELQ. Now both of them are sitting there trying to talk logic and sense into this chick. And Michael brings up the fact that, listen, I had to sit there and do his best for Riley. Even when Valentine offered me the company. You know what Brooklyn said to that? Great. You have a conscience. Well, he also has a soul, too. Which apparently, somehow, you must have somehow forgot. Because she literally says to both Michael and Ned that, well, you know what, my decision is final. This is what we're doing. So after you heard from two mindful people, two sounded-minded people, about the decision of why they think what you're doing is a bad idea, and it's just terrible in general. She's just like, well, I'm Brooklyn, and I'm gonna do it. I don't even know. Wow. So Valentine is already, getting ready for his Counter Strike. And he calls in Martin. He's like, "Listen, we're gonna sit there and try you coming in being charmful, and if it doesn't work, then we're just gonna go all out." And Martin's like, "How about we just try you just simply talking to her as a human being? Just be compassionate, reasonable, see what happens." Somewhere when Brooklyn was sitting there talking to Ned and Michael, she even said that he was a good father. This is what you're. So Valentine comes over there. He's like, listen, let's just talk. Let's just try to work this out. And it seemed like they had a good talk. Brooklyn was sitting there walking them to the door. And, Valentine's like, listen, as long as we're honest, we're respectful of each other, everything will just work out. And Brooklyn was like, I couldn't agree more. And she looks at Michael and Ned, and she's like, yes. I think she says somewhere along the lines of she got him exactly where she wants him. And then she gives this disgusting smirk on her face. And I'm just like, bitch, you're lower than dirt. Like, seriously. You are using your own child to bargain for a company. You are denying your child visits and whatever else with their father because it's more important for you to get back your company because you quote unquote screwed up. So now you're just going to make it even worse. I don't even know where to begin on a level of just how that is. I am trying not to curse too much, but god damn it, that woman, let's just sit there and say I was absolutely disgusted with her. And, the thing is, I love a good shake-up, okay? I love, things shaking up and people being villains at times and doing stuff to kind of, make it exciting. But I feel like there's certain lines you just don't cross. And there's a fine line between you shaking up a story and you making it interesting and spicy and whatever to whatever the hell it is that they think that it's a good idea for Brooklyn to do. Because it makes her seem soulless. And in a lot of ways, it makes her seem worse than being immature, because here's the thing, this isn't just her life anymore. And she's still thinking like some teenage girl. Okay, let's just move on, because if I keep talking about it, So let's talk about Nina. As we all pretty much assumed. Well, here's the thing. Nina didn't do the right thing. Okay, so here's the thing. Nina didn't do the right thing right away. She didn't sit there and tell Sonny who he was or anything. She knew that Sonny didn't have any idea of who he was, let alone who she was. Okay, this is after she talked to Phyllis or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, so you're just not going to do the right thing. Now, let's be very clear, because at this point, we all know how I feel about Nina. And I think most people don't like her either, for really good reasons. But when I sit there and say being clear, I mean, listen, despite how much I may not like a character, if I feel like they do something good, or they do something amazing or whatever, I'm going to point it out regardless of how I feel about that said character. Towards the end of the episode, she calls Carly. And I can already tell when Carly looked at that phone, she was already sitting there about to give her all sorts of attitude. Now, I'm not going to sit there and act like Nina does not deserve every single ounce of attitude that is coming her way. But I guess if we have to be somewhat fair, Nina was going to do the right thing, regardless. And I give her points for that. For her calling her up and trying to do the right thing. Of course, if we all look at it, I think if we're being honest, she did talk to Phyllis about not, like, do you think it's going to be a bad idea if I just tell him everything, or if somebody tells him, about his past, would it mess up his psyche or whatever? And she was like, no. But she was also just like, he would risk it. So she had the opportunity to sit there and do the right thing also, and she didn't. So there's that. Now, let's talk about Carly, Ava, and Jax. Pretty much it's just a leftover nonsense. I don't know what Jax sees in this woman, but I kind of already talked about it yesterday, as far as Nina goes. But, Carly pretty much just like fight for her, find her, and work it out. Now, Ava walks over, and right away, Carly is giving her attitude. Ava's like, I have an idea of where she's at, or I was the last person that talked to her. So they get to talking, and, Ava brings up the fact that, Carly shut Nina out of Wiley's life. And Carly was like, I didn't do that. That was Michael and Will's decision. Of course, Ava's like, well, you had a lot to do with it, Let's not sit there and try to act like you weren't, in charge of that in some form of way. Now, I find it really interesting that you're sitting there caping for this woman to try to spend time with Wiley. Said woman who took your child the minute it was born, but sure, whatever. I guess you just really hate Carly even more. So Ava comes out her mouth and she talks about the fact that Nina could have took Michael to court. And that irked the living hell out of me. Because I was like, on what planet do you think that they're gonna sit there and side with Nina over Michael? But they did talk to Martin, and Martin did sit there and say that she could sue for some type of, visitation rights. I think what Ava really doesn't seem to grasp, and this is something that Carly was saying, but Ava was just being too stupid to listen. The fact of the matter was, Nina confused Wiley. She hurt Willow, and somehow that just went over Ava's head because, well, she just doesn't like Carly. So I mean, why listen to rhyme and reason? And I just kind of stood there and I was like, you know what? Listen, if Nina actually tries to sue for visitation rights, good luck. Good luck, sweetheart. Let's see how well that work out in court. Because yes, it's true. Nina does have the finances. So does Michael. But Michael will probably be the better person and not have Wiley go through that whole back and forth. Because he went through it. So Michael would be the better person. But I think it was just a simple fact that Ava just wants to sit there and try to, like, get one over on her. Even if it wasn't her win. And of course she kept throwing the fact, throwing the fact that, she's the one that allows Carly to see Avery. And she doesn't have to do that. She's doing it out of the kindness of her heart. Which is true. It's true. I mean, she doesn't have to throw it in her face, but it is true. And granted, to be fair, I think that Carly should probably be a little more grateful about the time that she does get to spend with Avery, because Avery doesn't have to. She doesn't have to let it do. She doesn't have to let her do that. Liz talks to Finn. Well, first of all, Liz and Cam are still in that BS about, Jason killed, Franco, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. With Laura, and Laura takes him to go see Curtis for some odd reason, which I'm still confused why, even after I watched the episode. But then Liz talks to Finn, and, she's worried about Cam, even though that... And I didn't really understand that. There was one point they were sitting there talking, and Liz was like, I'm just worried about Cam and stuff like that. I haven't heard from him, I haven't heard from them in a while. And I'm like, she's with Laura. I mean, he's with Laura. What do you think that can happen between the time that Cam left your site to spend with Laura? I don't really understand that, but okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, they pretty much just kind of more or less talk about everything that's been happening so far as the non-wedding that didn't happen with Anna and Finn. And, yeah, also, the fact that, Chase and Finn are now father and son, because that's the thing now. So, yeah, pretty much they just talk about that, and then, Liz gets a phone call from Laura telling her to come over because, well, Cam is going to sing a song that I just, at this point, really did not care about. I'm pretty sure it was a nice song. I'll just take everyone's word for it. Now Cam is over at the, new nightclub that doesn't have a name yet. And, Trina did apologize to Curtis about her acting like a little brat. Let's just be honest. That's literally what she was acting like. But you know what? She did own up to it. So I give her a lot of points for that because, well, I remember me being pretty angry at those things. Like, really angry. So she did apologize, and so, they're all cool or whatever. Cam comes over, and, Laura's like, oh, well, he wants to get justice for Franco, and he wants to, I figure he can talk to you. And I'm just like, why? What can he do? But then again, I guess she didn't know that he's not a PI anymore. So I think that's probably what her plan was somehow. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know at this point, and Anyway, more or less, Curtis said that he really couldn't do anything. He was like, I'm not a PI anymore. But he tries to give him some advice, which Cam is just deciding to be Cam. So he's about to run off and do God knows what. And Trina stops him. Apparently there was a guitar or whatever, because Cam was... Well, I mean, Cam is going through grief. And one of the things that he was saying was that he didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to Franco. You know, Jake drew, Aiden said some words, he froze. And then Trina was like, you know, you can sit there and play him a song since they found this old guitar. So, you know, he starts playing and Liz is there, and apparently that was a good scene that I just... Not gonna lie, I kind of didn't really care. And to be fair, I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm pretty sure it was a nice scene. I think I was just so mad at the whole Brooklyn stuff that I was like, yeah, this episode needs to be over. Between that and the whole Carly and Ava thing and Nina supposedly fighting for custody, whatever, I was just like, yeah, this episode just needs to be over. I'm not gonna lie, I did this video twice. And in the beginning, I actually kind of left a disclaimer, basically saying that this review is going to be somewhat negative. Telling people to head to Brock TV's channel because, well, let's just sit there and say he is much nicer than I am in certain situations, and I give that guy a hell of a lot of respect. But I don't think it was as negative as I thought it was. Or if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like something else happened, and I just can't quite put my finger on it. I really do. Good news is that we got the old tagger back. Listen, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have too much of a problem with the replacement tagger, but he just didn't feel like Tagger. Okay, he felt like a dollar store version of Tagger. He wasn't bad. Okay, I've seen worse stand-ins or, you know, substitutes or whatever. He wasn't bad, but you know, I'm glad that the old version is back. I mean, listen, I've been watching this show since 2001. I've seen this guy since 2001. Okay, I can't imagine somebody else just coming in, even for a little bit, after we got to see the original Tagger back. So I'm just glad he's back. And with that being said, I think that's pretty much about it. I don't know if... Again, I'm not too sure if I missed something, but if I did, write in the comment section below. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for commenting. And for the people that didn't comment, just watch, I appreciate it all the same. Thank you so much. Be safe, everyone. I will catch everyone in the next video.